Israel recently took a step that shook the entire world. It attacked Qatar, claiming that important Hamas leaders were hiding there. Israel's claim was that it wanted to eliminate them, but in reality, this was just an excuse. The real purpose was to show that Israel can strike anywhere it wants. But this step not only angered the Arab world, it also increased criticism of Israel at the global level. In Gaza, Israel is already committing atrocities every single day. Bombings, blockades, and the killing of innocent people have become routine. Yet the surprising thing is that, despite Israel's massive resources and military power, Hamas keeps defeating them again and again. Whenever Israel declares an area as cleared, only a few days later, Hamas fighters reappear and launch attacks. This proves that Israel has never been able to establish full control on the ground. That is why the morale of its soldiers is also breaking. After the attack on Qatar, the Arab world reacted immediately. A major Islamic summit was held in Doha, attended by more than 40 Muslim countries. The important thing about this summit was that countries like Pakistan and Turkey were also included. Qatar was the host itself, so for them this was a matter of honor and dignity. Egypt proposed that an Arab NATO should be created so that all Arab countries could form a joint army. They even offered to contribute 20,000 troops. But the reality is that divisions still exist inside the Arab world. Some countries are close to the US and Israel, while others are opposed. This is why a united military action seems unlikely in the immediate future. But during this period, another major development came forward that changed the entire map of the region. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia signed a mutual defense agreement. According to this agreement, if one of them is attacked, the other will consider it as an attack on itself. This is a huge step because it has made Pakistan's position stronger. Pakistan already had the support of Turkey, Azerbaijan, and China, and now with Saudi Arabia standing with them, it is a warning bell for both India and Israel. The message is clear. If they try to take a major step against Pakistan, a wider regional war could break out. As always, the United States has given its full support to Israel. American lawmakers have been visiting Israel in delegations to show that we stand with Israel no matter what the world says. But at the very same time, the United Nations released a report clearly stating that Israel is committing genocide against the Palestinians. Yet American politicians remain silent because they depend on money from pro-Israel lobbies. The truth is, many American politicians fund their election campaigns through these Israeli-backed organizations. That is why they continue to support Israel, even at the cost of the lives of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. On another front, Israel is facing serious difficulties, and that is the battlefield of social media. In today's world, propaganda war has become as important as real war. On YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, millions of videos in support of Palestine are going viral. Israel is trying to push America to introduce anti-BDS laws so that people cannot boycott Israeli products. But the BDS boycott, divestment, sanctions movement is spreading rapidly around the world. The youth in America and Europe are openly supporting this movement, and Israel is losing this battle badly. Netanyahu, in his recent speech, even accused China and Qatar. He said China brought Saudi Arabia and Iran closer together and thus created a front against Israel. He accused Qatar of providing shelter to Hamas, but the reality is that all of this was initially done with the consent of the United States itself. Today, as circumstances turn against Israel, Netanyahu is busy putting blame on others. He also targets Al Jazeera because their journalists expose Israel's atrocities before the world. But the real truth is that Israel is collapsing from within. The military reserves, who were once ready to join the battlefield whenever called, are now refusing in large numbers. They know that this war cannot be won. The economy is collapsing, businesses are shutting down, and a large number of Israelis are leaving the country. If America's support ends, Israel will not be able to survive for long. Today, it only exists because American politicians keep backing it in exchange for money. But the young generation of America is against Israel. As soon as this new generation enters politics, Israel's biggest support will be broken. As for Palestine's future, it is difficult to say anything with certainty. Maybe Israel will continue its oppression, or maybe it will collapse under internal rebellion. But one thing is certain, Israel is becoming more and more isolated in the world. On the other hand, Pakistan's importance is increasing because it is the only Muslim country with nuclear power. That is why the Arab world is now looking toward Pakistan to play a leadership role. In the end, the big question arises, are all these events the prelude to a new major war? Or is the world simply waiting for a miracle so that Palestinians finally get justice? Time will tell, but for now, the reality is clear. Israel's power is crumbling, and the world is standing at the edge of a new era.